Hi chat, how we doing today? Welcome in. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you've had a great weekend. Let's make some coffee. Welcome in, everyone. All sorts of people in here right off of the bat. Hello, Ozzy. Hello, Buns. Hello, Cosmic. Hello, JK. Hello, They Can See Me. Hello, Blondie. Hello, Will. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone in that list. Me just coding and coding and coding away and figuring out how to do things and then coding things and then figuring out how to do things and writing flowcharts and then figuring out how to do things. We're just doing a shoulder roast tonight, They Can See Me. They'll give us some nice pull apart pork for our soup tomorrow. And since I am planning this for 2 recipes here, both as a roast for tonight and for soup tomorrow, we're going to spice things accordingly. We're still going to use lots of mustard today, though. Need to clean up my kettle here. It's getting coated with calcium deposits or whatever those are. The stuff from my water that builds up after a while. I have to get rid of it with white vinegar. How many dinos down, Buns? Almost out of turbinado. So not only are we roasting pork, we're going to be doing braised purple Napa cabbage. And we're going to do a cheesy cauliflower gratin. Sure they are, Buns. That's what all the girls say. Thank you for joining me, chat. I hope you've had a lovely weekend. Cheers. That's what they all say, Buns. I needed some coffee. Hi, chat. First steps here. Pork. Start heating our oven here. Does that look marinated? I think we're gonna do half hotel pan for this. Alright, mustarded it up. The chat didn't see all that. Well, sort of did, but... I'm not going to use the smoked salts. That's the problem with smoked salts. Like, I like smoked salts. They're a nice product, but they're horrible to use a majority of the time because they're smoked. And so they turn most things you put them on black. So like, I would love some smoky salt on that. But I don't want what the smoky salt is going to do to that roast as far as appearance. We'll go in with all of our seasonings now. Garlic. onion. We'll do paprika, but not chili powder. The handheld smoker's cutesy and usable for a couple of things, but it's mostly for like doing cocktails and really small things. I wouldn't want to use this with that. Rinse, repeat. Literally. Oh, not literally, actually. Onion. Paprika. Cayenne. Turn. Rinse. Garlic. Onion. Am I getting repetitive? Paprika. Cayenne. You gotta have more pepper in there. I feel like I just refilled you the other day. Yep, we're out of pepper. Yep, we're out of pepper. shaking the earbud out of my ear. If anyone out there is unfamiliar with the community games, we're talking like Jackbox games, which maybe you're more familiar with. You don't know Jack, the cardboard game. But they're sort of trivia, jokes, games that get you to do things that are quirky and fun. I know one of them is a drawing game where they get you to do things like draw Napoleon on a camel. Or, you know, just like really random prompts. It's fun. It's funny. Yes, and you don't need to buy any game or anything. It's one person in the group has bought the game, but it is free for everyone else and can be played through a web browser or other ways, depending on which ones they are. Okay, so we have our pork seasoned. I know that was a long and tedious procedure, but we can move on now. Maybe. And I think I'm debating if I want to do that or not. Onion. And that's going into 425 degree oven to get started. I'm gonna throw a probe in there to check the temp over time though. How much higher than what are we doing? 135? I'm gonna do 135. Sorry if you want your pork well done. Hello, Nan Reader. Somewhat slicing these, mostly just breaking them down into considerably smaller sizes than normal. Ooh, Bun's doing a giveaway for sprinkles. Rip open a bag of chicken stock. And get that melting. It'd be cool if cauliflower and broccoli grew up in little like dandelion balls instead of, you know, like this mutated half-formed thing. Melting butter. Making a roux. Wazza! It sounds like you need to throw out your flour. So the way you talk about rodents in this apartment of yours, I don't know if it was necessarily so much of an improvement. I'm going to add some water in my half and half here. And then I'm going to add more half and half to it. Get myself hopefully in the ballpark where I want for this. So now we've got our roux nice and happy here. Turn the heat back on here. Low. We'll add in our liquid and mix that in well. Yeah, like I said. So we got ourselves basic bechamel there. We'll add some salt in there. We'll add some pepper. And this is going with the cauliflower, so garlic, onion, and what else should I put in here with the, maybe a little nutmeg? Let's do a little nutmeg. Nutmeg. Grats, they can see me. Huh? What you on, bot? Cutting the rind off of that. And then we're grating. This is a Gruyere. I said Gouda earlier in sub chat in the Discord. And then corrected myself after going to the store and changing my mind. I was awkward with the cheese girl today. Not that I was like, it was like I wasn't even hardly paying attention to her. It was, I wasn't paying attention to her. I didn't care what she had to say. And so it became awkward as she continued to try and force her way into some sort of conversation about cheese. And I'm saying this now, and like I didn't even pay attention to like, was she attractive? Tell you the truth, she's wearing one of those. They wear those. I was at Oliver's, so they wear those like butcher coats anyway. So it's not like. Oh, it's got coleslaw in it. Oh, we can use the glass one. Glass one will work fine for this. It could be that I'm also not really intrigued with the idea of cheese girl. I just thought I saw you down there the other day. What did I do with you? Where'd you go? What did I do with you? Magic disappearing tricks here, chat. My 8x8 pan seems to be unavailable. What am I using it for? Where the hell is it? What camera angle is that? They can see me. the one we're on right now. Zoomed up with stove cam. It was probably while I was over there looking at stuff down below. Yeah, giving a good shot of the trash and all the Oliver's paraphernalia. We're now going to take our oven temp down to 375. And we're going to coat our cauliflower. No blanch. Smaller pieces this time, longer cook in the oven. Last time I did a gratin with cauliflower, I par-cooked all the cauliflower before I threw it in the oven. But that's because I was using large chunks. And then about 80% of that cheese going in with that. I think I'm going to add a little bit more dairy to that and loosen it up just a touch. It is going to have to bake for a while. I originally sliced all of these figuring I was going to be putting in an 8x8 and so I could sort of push it flat. Oh, and we're in ads. But since we're putting it in here, that's a little less of a reason to try and cut them all flat and push it down flatter. Might even look a little bit better in this bowl if it's a little more rustically rough topped. some hills and valleys. That's the thing with corned beef, is it's too salty. The ones that I bought in the can, way too salty. And they were the reduced sodium salt, ones. You're salt brining it basically, so it's... Okay, so we got this lovely going on here, and then we're going to go with a topping of more of the shredded Gruyere. This isn't our final topping, this is just sort of like the support layer for our topping. It'll work fine for this. And then we've got breadcrumbs. That's maybe a bit much. And grated Parmesan. And there we go. I got some extra topping here, unfortunately. We'll hit that with a bit of salt. I'm going to throw that in oven just like that without a lid. Actually no, maybe we will go with a lid on that. I don't want to lose all of that moisture. So we'll throw that bad boy on top. Got a little hole for steam vent anyways. That pork is smelling amazing, by the way, chat. It's just in the middle of the oven. We're going to ditch the last of this water in half and half. Put the Parmesan away. What's everyone think of the captions tonight? I switched them over to the lighter color text. Are they easier to read? I think they're a little bit easier to read than they were before. What you looking at? Silly bot camera. Keep intending to call a store, and I keep forgetting to. Partly because I set the timer way too early in the morning for me to be actually functional and accomplish the task. How do I want to chop these? So now we're getting going with our cabbage. We're starting off with getting some onion cooking here. And that's why I defrosted the stock, by the way. We're going to be using the chicken stock with the cabbage. I was just going to buy normal red cabbage, but then I saw this beautiful thing for sale early in the day, and like, I just sort of felt like I had to. Salt. That's the one thing I sort of miss with my cast irons, is I don't flip foods in my cast irons. Like, you give me just about any other pan and I'm going to be tossing whatever's in it. I don't do that and I don't do that on stream. And get those onions a little bit more of a cook before we add the apple in there. to make sure and get that out of there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but we're only up to 56 on the interior of that pork. I don't think I can see that, so I don't think you can, but maybe if you got things full screen or something. And then I've got it cropped in that screen. Though the very fact that it is not registering refrigerator level temps is generally meaning that it is starting to heat up, and it is 57 already since I looked back there. It's a little like cracking the seal at the bar. Once you've broken that point, the temperature just keeps going up. I'm doing 135, which isn't medium well. I'm pretty sure that's more of a medium rare, medium. We're getting there, getting some color on those onions now, but not quite there. I am not afraid of medium or medium, as long as the pork is from a decent source. I don't mind medium rare. The cases of trichinosis are, I'm probably mispronouncing that, or maybe substituting the wrong disease in there, but the issue everyone used to have with pork, largely remedied in the U.S. That said, I would not be shocked if during my death autopsy, if they even bother with one, they'll find some things in there that... Apple slices going in. Most people who are avoiding pork are either doing it out of poor education or out of religious reasons. And I welcome someone to disagree with me on that. I'd like to be proven wrong on that. But most of it is silliness. I mean, pigs are actually cleaner animals than dogs. There are people that, and it's mostly the religious angle, that sits there and calls them a dirty animal. It's... I mean, like I said, they're cleaner than dogs. They don't shit where they eat or sleep. They may make a bog pit, but I mean, they live in swamps and forest land. We're gonna wait on the vinegar until we've got things going. I think we're ready for our cabbage. bit more salt in there. MSG. Worcestershire. I'm trying the low sodium Worcestershire. I'm doubting I'm going to notice a major difference. I'm not sure about that, felines, whether they do or not. I'm not 100% sure whether it's that or whether it's like animals are weird. They do, I mean, pigs are pretty close to humans, but in the general gist of things, but animals are weird. Like, you look at chinchillas and they, clean themselves using dust. It's... Yes, the captions are amazing with Worcestershire. It's almost like they anticipate people not being able to pronounce Worcestershire. Even though it's Worcestershire. Are we there, chat? I mean, I basically got to make the batter and prep our puddings. But I think I'm feeling like I was like gonna be cooking all night here. And most everything's on the stove now. Gratin's in the oven, pork's in the oven, cabbage is on the stove. I almost wrote in rolls until I was like, oh, rolls and Yorkshire pudding that's a bit excessive. Heard a dad joke today, chat. Well, I didn't hear it, I half read it. Why are trailers bad at directions? Because they always get towed where they go. Alright, now we're hitting that with our acid. In this case, apple cider vinegar. And chicken stock. Just to basically come up to level with it and allow it to cook down with. So lost in the coating sauce, chat. I'm just trying to rebuild the bot, basically. Not quite. I don't have quite the Matrix thing going on, but I did post. Here, let's. I did post this in the Discord last night. I've, at this point, well, not just ChatGPT has done a lot of this, but at this point, I've probably written about 20 pages worth of code. Now, most of them, like a page-long script sort of a thing for handling all sorts of stuff. And between keeping track of everything, and this should be here, and that should be there, debugging, it might be a minute before this comes to reality here, chat. I'm making steady progress, though, so that's a good part. I don't have a solid ETA, especially since I keep, I started out the project thinking that I was going to take over and redo sprinkles and everything. I got into it, and then was like, okay, that's way too ambitious. It's going to take forever. And now here I am doing all of it. I don't know. I have this creeping suspicion And this has happened to me in the past, where I get into a project and I go mad on a project and I get either burnt out or I'm not making enough progress and headway, and my interest in it just dies. And I seriously hope that is not the case. I am going to add a touch of sugar to this cabbage. That was maybe 1/8 cup sugar, a couple tablespoons. A couple tablespoons is a quarter cup. It is seriously looking like Pop Rocks are going to be the ingredient challenge on Wednesday. What would you cook with Pop Rocks, chat? I'm actually sort of excited for this idea myself. Like, buttermilk's cool, but it's buttermilk. I don't even know where I can buy Pop Rocks these days. I might have to... It might be a challenge just finding Pop Rocks. I've never worked with Pop Rocks themselves in cooking. I did work at one point in LA at a very nice and fancy restaurant doing an amuse, and it was a play on a mojito. It was a gelled rum and lime. It was like semi-frozen, semi-gelled, cubed. We were just freezing them in like square ice cube trays and cutting them into quarters. So it was sort of like a rectangle of rum and lime. And then we were coating it with lime zest, and mint was in there somewhere. But lastly, they had made house-made Pop Rocks, because you can make Pop Rocks not too hard. And they were putting those over the top of it for just an initial bite. We. Oh, LA days. I miss some of the experiences I had when I was living in LA, but there's nothing I miss about the actual living in LA. Like, just driving through LA to go to San Diego was a pain in the butt. Much less living there. Did I ever eat at Charcoal Venice? No, I went to Venice and I worked at a Irish bar on Venice, but no, I don't remember Charcoal Venice. There's actually a fair number of places that I didn't experience when I was in LA that I probably should have, and some of them I regret, other ones not so much. I never made it to Pink's, which I really could care less if I ever made it to Pink's. It's a hot dog store. But, you know, it's that. I never made it to the, I drove by it many times, but I never made it into the donut shop. I did go to the Apple Pan. Apple Pan's amazing. Did go to, well, basically all the stuff in, like, Palms and that area. Palms and Culver area. Father's office. Tito's. The one that I wish I had tried, that I really wish I had tried that I didn't when I was there was, damn it, now I'm not remembering the name of it. The carnival themed one by, Jose Andreas's restaurant there. I actually knew someone there who was management in the kitchen, and would have been cool to experience, and I had heard many stories and obviously knew a fair amount of the menu, but I somewhat wonder if I got sort of half scammed and half not. Like, I got paid, but I got sort of half scammed into working for this Irish bar in Santa Monica / Venice area. And I half want to say it was by a Russian mobster. Like, a legit Russian mobster. Because it was all sort of half tied in also with another friend of mine who was really working with him, that was doing things for trying to it was, boxing's making a little bit of a comeback now, but he was, at that time, this dude that was throwing all this money was like really trying to bring back boxing. And like, there's a lot of ties too. I don't even remember the dude's name, but there's this Russian dude. There's all these ties. Is like, this sort of sounds like this matches up. Let's take a look at our gratin. That's looking yummy. That's looking mighty yummy. Well, I'm talking 10 years ago when I was there. More than 10 years ago. No, less than 10 years ago. But a while ago. No, wait a minute. What? Almost 15 years ago. Okay, I think that is gorgeous. I think that's going to be able to accept a little more time. Not much, though. So I think I am going to leave that covered and throw that in towards the end just to finish up. Fix my earbud here. Sound of my earbud is down to 25%. So much better. I can hear the music now. Sort of wish I had visited Animal while I was there too, and I didn't make it into Animal. I don't think Animal's there anymore. I can't really think of anything in LA that I would want to, like, make a trip to LA to visit. Like, there's places that might be interesting if I have to be in LA. But I've driven by at dances. I have not eaten there. At one point, I was very much wanting to. Now I still would probably enjoy it, but I'd cringe at the paycheck, or at the check. I also sort of feel like it's probably gotten to this point where that restaurant has just got its dishes that it I know the French Laundry is based on the system where the chefs make up regular recipes and do their own things regularly, but at the same time, it's the French Laundry. You're going there for the, you know, the biscuits and tea and biscuits and forgetting all of the dishes, the oysters and pearls and the salmon roe cornichon and coffee and donuts. No, coffee... Well, was coffee and donuts the one that they did with tobacco for Bourdain? Or is it... Anyways. Probably is coffee and donuts, because now it's thinking in, like... Yeah, they did the rings of apple that they turned into a donut. I think I might add a touch more vinegar here, just because I want to keep that red color. Want to keep our purple cabbage purple, not blue. I didn't set a time over here, but we got our temp probe going. We're at 94 degrees in our roast. And timer set for 135, or the alarm set to 135. I think the French Laundry's been knocked down a little bit by me living close enough that you hear people that just sort of cut it down. You hear comments about, oh yeah, he's doing a special again, you ran out of money again. Silliness like that. But I haven't gotten to a number, like, there's Single Thread here in Healdsburg that's, I want to say I don't know if he's got a resume. I forget exactly where he worked his way up, but he also had, like, that dude walked into Healdsburg with money. Like, we're talking about Healdsburg. I've talked before about Healdsburg being like the new money, or the I want to look like I'm rich, so I'm in Healdsburg town as far as Sonoma is concerned. They walked in there, bought like a prominent location in the city center, not downtown, but city center, bought a farm, and just started throwing money. Like, just started. And their first things didn't quite work out, and we'll hire new chefs and do it again, throw more money at it. And unfortunately, that's sort of like where a fair amount of the restaurant industry is right now. Like, I talk about, like, you know, Mr. Beast and them trying to turn it into, like, modern day merch. In many ways, it already is. It's just for the even richer, quieter group of people out there that want to promote their farm, want to promote this, you know. We're pushing the family ecosystem forward with this restaurant. And it's less and less about being the actual, like, it isn't about the food for people. Like, people want it to be about the food for them, but it's not. Why are you not following me, camera? There's a fair amount of that. Well, I don't think people realize how much of that actually just happens on a normal basis. Like, I don't think the average person realizes how predatory commercial real estate is. Because, you know, they lock you into a 5-year contract. So, you know, it's going to take 5 years before it shows up as you failing, even if you did it in the first month. And so you see, you know, cafe running, you know, on downtown street for 5 years, just scraping by. They're not scraping by. They're getting reamed out by their landlord. I see it here in this town. Like, yeah. Yep. first year, most of your customers are going to be first time. Like, it takes forever to people realize you're there. Okay, we're going to get started with our pudding recipe. I actually see it a lot of places in Sonoma because we have a lot of small towns. Like, it sort of kills a lot of our, like, marketing for the county, too. Because we were wine county, we were wine territory, wine country, along with Napa and Mendocino. But we also had the whole, we got all these small little towns that have their own feel, their own little microclimates, their own cultures. Like, there are places of Sonoma that are completely burnt out hippie town. And then there's other places that are, like I said, like mini Beverly Hills. But a lot of that is in the retail, the shops that you can go in and check out things. And with the internet killing all of the small retail shops, that's really hurt things here. And I think it's led into what I was saying with people getting stuck into these real estate deals. And I've seen so many of them lately, like, that's just not going to work. That too, like, the homeless around here, between, like, the Supreme Court has sort of remedied that whole thing with, we can just fine you for being homeless now. But for a long time it wasn't just that you could be out there homeless and not get in trouble. It, like, was an okay enabling thing for people that want to live cheaply. Like, okay, you don't care if you sleep outside? You want to be a little bit dirty and don't mind? You can save money on your rent. And you see people that, like, professionally live that way. That, will come walking out of the woods at 8 in the morning in their suit. And it's like, you do like a double take. You're like, did you just walk out behind that tree? Sorry to hear that. The economy has not been polite to any of us here with world wars starting. I'm going to move the gratin off of the stove here so that I can melt some fat and butter for our Yorkshires. Why am I trying to put the flour away? I haven't even used it yet. So that's some butter in the pan there. We're going to add some lard into that pan too. Silly rabbit. Not incredibly. Certainly not compared to sunflower oil. But it does have a lot less water in it than butter does. I think I'm just gonna shake it in. No, it's not shaking for me. Up to 112 on our pork. So there we go. There we have that. Add a touch more stock to our braised cabbage because we're going to have to cook that a little bit longer. The fat's all nicely melted now. And turn the heat off on that. Might be just wiggle now, buns. I'm going to take one of my muffin tins out here, give it a wipe down, make sure we don't get any dust or nastiness in there from the oven. And throw that down on bottom to preheat. We're not doing the popovers or the puddings until we get our pork resting. We're at 118. I feel like I burnt my arm here somewhere. I don't see it. Doesn't look red. Guess not. Did I burn myself, chat? I don't see anything. Oh, hey, that'd be cool. I keep turning the scramble off because I'm testing the scramble with the other bot. My apologies. It should have been running all stream. Should work now, chat. What's up, Stream Deck? Why are you giving me issues tonight? Are you not logged in with Twitch or something? Here, I guess I'll just type it. It's empty. Okay, this is cutesy for this point here, but this is going to be horrible for pouring into the containers. So I am going to put this in a much more pourable container. Okay, we're up to 123, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the cauliflower back in. No, I haven't touched that scramble. Though with the new one, if I with a couple of clicks, it's not going to be like right in front of me all the time. I can find out what the scramble word is in the new version. This one, I have to guess it. New version, I can sit and taunt chat. Ugh, dad joke. Ugh. Just boo. And I don't know if I took a drink for that hydrate. Here's a drink for that hydrate. Maybe you should just gnaw on an iron bar. Suck on a piece of steel larger than you can swallow and just hope that it absorbs by osmosis. Let's see, high iron foods. Well, there's one where you can't have anymore, and right off the list it lists liverwurst. To a degree, I would bet it probably would, felines. It lists peas as high in. They're green. But it lists all the, like, high iron foods, dark green leafy vegetables, spinach, collards, kale, chard, beet greens. But what's the hold up on greens if you need all the iron? Like I said, Buns, follow your doctor's directions, don't. But have you been toying with overnight oats? You can probably do some major advantage. You could probably hit that up pretty well. Like, between oats, probably able to add more supplements in there with the liquid as it's soaking. Like, you could probably put iron powder in there. Chia seeds, just, yeah. I'm going to pull the gratin out and just pull the lid off of it real quick. Throw it back in. Just to get a little toast on top. Show that up close to the screen, you can't see. Good job, chef. Alright, pork's coming out first, so we need a space for the pork. I think my trivet's over here. That it is. As is my watch. Haven't been wearing my watch tonight, chap, because I was charging it. Nice. See, they aren't all mean. Scramble's not always mean. Almost there, 133 out of 135. Everyone ready for it to beep? I was a little early with that, wasn't I? It's gonna start beeping now. Beeping. There be pork. you got your little peek of it, and now it's got to go into its little home for a little while. I'll leave the heat off on the cabbage at this point. We're going to increase the temp on the oven to back up to 400. And we're now waiting on the oven to get to 400 before we can do our popovers or our puddings. Hi, Ty. We've got our batter already made. I just cleaned up the whisk to give that a little bit of a wake up. Make sure it's not settling or anything. I think we're good there. We got our oven up to temp here. It's saying it's at 400. I don't trust it. Like, yeah, it's heating. Ooh, is it Canadian Turkey Day? That sounds like a good time, don't you know? Usually I notice that. I'm surprised that's shocking that it creeped up on me. I'm not Canadian, but for some reason I always seem to notice Canadian Thanksgiving. Well, I hope you got a good slice for doing the effort of making it. Oh, you're not craving turkey soup? Actually, in my family, it was, even though our family really has essentially no Asian influence, like, I don't think we have even anyone with Asian heritage that has married into my extended family. I don't know. Probably wrong about this. But my grandmother used to do turkey chop suey. Gratin's doing lovely. We can go ahead and pull that out too. I was giving it a couple minutes uncovered. Yeah, let's give that another minute or two uncovered. Nice, Shauna Vision. I'm gonna give it about, let's do a 3-minute timer from here. And then we'll start with the fat in the cups and we'll pull the gratin out. Beans of shirataki. Not gojujaru. Not these. What about greens of paradise? Look it up. Greens of paradise. Greens. That is not how you pronounce greens. Grains. There you go, captions. Nice, Buns. Keep doing whatever you were doing to improve it. I need to get back into walking, chat. I just get up in the morning and I'm like, I think I'm mostly just burnt out on walking around where my house is. Like, I just wake up and I'm like, no, I don't want to go there. Oh, Buns, we have amazing trails all over Sonoma. The problem is, I've done the ones that are like walking distance from my home. So, like, there are all sorts of cool ones that, you know, if I wanted to bother, get in a car and go somewhere. I mean, what's his name? Little House on the Prairie. His place there, here in Sonoma, like, is acres and acres and acres and acres and acres. Like, you can walk for miles and still be there. Most of the train tracks around Sonoma County, if they're still functional, they have a walking path next to them. And if they're not functional, they are a walking path. Oops, didn't mean to stop the music. Now we start in with this fun. Now with our popovers, we got our tray out, already preheated. We're gonna throw a little fat in each of these little cups. Little short, one short. That's alright, gives me a good place to quick grab these. Give them a swirl around, make sure they get a nice coating all the way around. Back in the oven to warm up as a whole. Now we can go back to looking at that. And set a 6-minute timer here to let those warm up properly. Those are looking sexy too. I don't know if you can see. Oh. Nice braised cabbage. Hey, Climb. Ooh, what was the last one? Oh. Even. I feel like that one should have been more obvious. Hey, I didn't guess it either. Two and a half minutes until we add the batter. And put a lid on the What's going on in the world tonight? Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Alright, time to add our batter to the pans. There we go. A little leftover batter. But then again, we're only doing 11. All of those going back down into that oven right hot immediately. And we're going to hope those eggs poof. And they're going to take another 10 minutes from here. Yeah, it's too much reading. What's the batter consist of? It's primarily egg and dairy, but there's a little bit of flour there to bind everything together. It's going to be, and the dairy is going to be adding a lot of water in there, and so that's going to bubble up and cause a lot of that, along with the egg. It's got a lot of water that's going to boil and bubble, and so you're pouring those directly into that oil, and I think some of them were even starting as I was pouring it, but definitely once you get them down in that oven, get heat completely around them, they just poof. But the batter is 3 eggs, about 3/4 of a cup of milk. I used half and half. And about 3/4 of a cup of flour. And then I put 2 tablespoons, I melted 2 tablespoons of butter and slightly more than that in lard. So it's a relatively, The eggs are pricey, but otherwise it's a relatively cheap dish to make. I'm out of olive oil and it costs a fortune now. I need someone to put olive oil on sale. Been looking for 2 weeks now. This is the last of the olive oil in the house, chat. Of course, I need sugar in the raw, and yeah, I need more flour. I need to do bulk shopping, just creeping up on me. Maybe I should get that Costco thingy. I've read that you can actually do like a 1-day pass at a fair number of. Has anyone ever tried that? Like, I've talked before about how I used to get like gift cards because single dude, you only really need to go in a bulk place like that a couple of times a year. But they don't do the gift cards thing anymore. I honestly would probably be more interested in Sam's Club if I had any, like, I don't think there's, I think the closest one to me is in, like, Oakland. Like, it's, like, over an hour away, sort of a thing. Meanwhile, there's 2 Costco's that I can think of off the top of my head in Sonoma County. Like, I like the idea of, I don't know if Costco's got something like this or not. They maybe have implemented something, but I love the whole, you can just order it online thing with your phone. Because the vast majority of stuff that I am buying at a Costco or a Sam's Club or what have you, it's going to be a giant sack of something. I don't need to check the quality of it. I mean, granted, the beef and maybe some of the food, sure, but I mean, even most of the food is like the frozen stuff, the big bag stuff, cans. Yeah, that one's got me wondering what that one is, too. I should know that one. It's only 5 letters. It's not like there's any complex ones in there, either. Oh, also important during this time, you do not want to open the oven while these things are heating back up. Like, this is not a, ooh, let's take a look at them after 3, 5, 7, 10 minutes, you know, because I want to see how they're developing. No. You leave that door closed. Opening a door rapidly lets hot air out of the oven, and it means that they're not going to poof, because you need to create that steam before the eggs harden. So if you let the temperature down, the eggs are going to harden before you get any lift out of it. You're opening the door, you're not really cooking it at the temperature you're saying. You're cooking it like 50 degrees lower. I guess they will shrink, but it's more that they won't grow in the first place. Okay, we've now done 10 minutes. I'm going to look now whether we're going to do 10 or 12 quickly. But they're basically set at this point. I'm going to give them the full time because I thought they could use it. Yeah, internet's been good since I complained to the ISP. Though I still have no idea what the dude on the ISPN's end actually did. He was talking about, like, it was a typical, you know, tech service interaction as they happen these days. It was by someone with a name that I could never pronounce in a million years. They spoke in broken English and didn't really understand 100% what my problem was. But whatever they did seems to have improved the internet a little bit. Well, I think it's pretty much wherever you are, unless you're paying big money. You're stuck with maybe 2 or 3 options. And it's, yeah. At least the FCC has lately been making some good steps in the right direction. But they've got a lot of people fighting them. They got a lot of money fighting them. They got a lot of, you know, Comcast, AT&T's fighting them. And we have Puddin's chat. Oops. We have Puddin's chat. Ad break. This smells amazing, chat. This pork smells delicious. It's not the best knife to be doing this slicing with, but I'm doing it anyways. Some of our braised cabbage, apples and onions. slaw was intended as a side along with all of this. Like, do I need slaw? The slaw was amazing, by the way. It is amazing. But the slaw I will eat alone, no problem. That looks amazing altogether. Let's grab some photos. We're making pork soup tomorrow. But I could do it for sandwiches too. And so there we have it, folks. There is my Sunday roast dinner. Gonna be back here tomorrow doing pork and pizzelle soup, using some of this leftover pork. Recipe for the soups in the Discord if you'd like to join along. Cook with me tomorrow night. We're gonna wrap up our ingredient challenge for Wednesday. The vote on that tomorrow. So it's looking like it's gonna be Pop Rocks, but if you really want to try and rally for buttermilk, you can feel free to vote in the Discord. I think everything tonight turned out amazing. I think that pork looks great. The popovers look delicious, light, soft. The gratin's yummy. And the greens are just good for you. The cabbage just good for you. Might do some quick bread along with tomorrow's plans, but not 100% on that. Alright, gonna leave it there, folks. Hope you have an amazing evening. Hope you had a great weekend. See you for soup tomorrow. Good night.